Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Grove Boys show. As you can see, we got everyone here tonight.
Whoop, whoop.
That's nice for a change.
Yeah. Usual arrangement. Logan in the top left, that's me. Connor in the top right. Morgan bottom left. Tony bottom right. And yeah, we got plenty of things to talk about. Not so much in the way of hockey. We got a little bit about football, but what I really want to start off here is the news that has shaken the sports world, even a little bit beyond the sports world. LeBron has finally announced his team for the upcoming season.
It's about time.
And if there's anyone here who has watched the last episode of our show, you know I'm one happy fellow right now. Because I no longer have to see reports about LeBron hasn't narrowed down to these same 4 or 5 teams. Now we can finally talk about, all right, who's going to be the major players, right? And now that LeBron has joined the 76ers, let's talk about how successful that team is going to be. Because now you have a lineup of, 4 all-star level players and then a very promising young star in VJ Edgecombe. So yeah, my question for you guys then, are the 76ers the team to beat, not just in the East, but in all of the NBA right now?
No. No. It's the Spurs and OKC. It's the
I
league runs through them
think
too.
I think they're contenders though. Like, don't get me wrong, the 76ers are going to be a really good team. I just don't think they're going to, you don't get LeBron James at the ripe age of how old is he? 40, 39?
41.
Yeah,
Think.
and instantly become the favorites. Like, no.
No, like Embiid's too hurt, LeBron's too old. Like LeBron can't do what he just did again. Like he's done with those days of putting the team on his back and going on a run. Like he needs a team around him now. It's not like the Cleveland days, it's not like the Heat days. I mean, especially for a guy that like never, I mean, he would put the team on his back, but he was never the clutch guy. Like, who's the clutch guy on that team? Just by the way, like I don't see anybody on that team being the guy that's gonna get the ball for the last shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
it's going to carry the boats.
there's no Ray Allen, there's no Kyrie. Say what you want about Kyrie, but when the guy needs to make the shot, he'll make it. You know what I mean, Logan?
Yeah.
Because I know you're giving looks as the basketball guy, but like I see a lot of talent that is old, and the young guy doesn't have what they need the young guy to have on that team.
I think
So,
if they get to the playoffs, they're going to be scary. If they don't make it there, then well, whatever. But like, if they get to the playoffs, they're going to be a problem for anybody. Just with
Two-thirds of the NBA makes the playoffs, right? Or a playing game.
They're gonna be scary. I think that's a legit team now.
if they make the playoffs and Embiid's healthy, that team is scary. But I don't trust Embiid to stay healthy. But if Embiid's healthy, it's scary because now you have a ton of guys with experience on that team. Like that's the scary part. But that's going to be what makes the Spurs like a problem now. Is now like they've played at the highest like level you can play now. So like they're not going to have the nerves and everything that they've had before. The thing that the East has to be thankful for is that basically the Thunder and the Spurs have to beat the hell out of each other to get to the finals. And I think we saw that in the finals with New York. You saw the fatigue from an intense 7-game series with the Spurs versus like the Knicks who swept the Cavs and then rested and were relaxed. That's what the benefit for the East.
Right, so what I will say is, to your earlier point, Tony, LeBron is very much at the age now where he does need a team around him. He can no longer be trusted to be the guy. We saw that on the Lakers after the Luka trade, and then Luka started to truly show himself as the guy in LA. But I mean, if you look back through LeBron's career stats, this past season was his lowest points per game that he has ever recorded in a season. So yeah, no, he can't be the guy anymore. The good thing is he does have a team around him. And I will say there's more than one young guy on that team. There's, as I mentioned earlier, VJ Edgecombe, very promising young talent. We could see him as an all-star in maybe even a couple years' time. Let's not forget about Tyrese Maxey, because that dude had a breakout season last year. I think he was one of like the top most improved player candidates. Kind of put that 76ers team on his back. But yeah, so you have him as well. And yeah, it really just comes down to if Embiid can stay healthy. If he does stay healthy, I think they are the top contender in the league, quite honestly. But even if not, I still very much see them as for sure a playoff team. They do have a guy behind Embiid, Adem Bana, who was a blocking machine last year. So even if Embiid does go down, they can at least rely on him to step it up. And let's not forget about one of their other offseason acquisitions, Jalen Brown, who was also responsible for putting a team on his back last season in Boston when Tatum was hurt for a while. So I do really like this team. I think, quite honestly, they are the team to beat, especially since, OKC has shipped off some of their depth pieces, and San Antonio showed last year that they are prone to fatigue in the postseason.
The long season.
Yeah.
I like the points you bring up about the team has to be healthy around them. Anything can happen when you're in the playoffs. It's it's a series. It's not just one game.
Dude, what's
Like
Bronny James gonna do now though? He doesn't have his like dad to protect him on that roster.
he's probably so relieved, dude. Oh my god,
No,
I'd
dude,
be
he's probably
so.
gonna lose his spot. He's probably gonna
I'd
lose
be
his
like,
spot.
thank
No,
God I
no.
can actually like form my own career instead of living in this guy's shadow.
LeBron made sure that before he got out of LA, Ronnie had some sort of contract to lean back on. So,
Dude, I get so irritated when people compare when people say like LeBron and Bronny are like the Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. of basketball. It's like
no.
no, the difference is Ken Griffey Jr. deserved to be in the league. I don't think Bronny was good enough to be in the league. His dad was just on played for the team.
Bronny is the
I agree with
definition
you.
of a Nepo baby.
Yes.
100%.
I don't mind Nepo babies as long as they actually do a good job when they get put in the position. But Bronny is not him.
Right, yeah. I mean, really, that's all I got as far as NBA news goes. I don't know if y'all have been hearing a little bit about Jalen Duren. Not much new has come up about him, but they're still very much in a contract stalemate there. You would think that with the talks about him possibly going to Sacramento all those months ago, that would have happened by now. It clearly hasn't. There's clearly something in the
Yeah,
way.
nobody wants him. Nobody wants him except for Detroit. But the problem for him is he's entitled to this big money contract if he can get it. The only problem is he has no leverage because Detroit's the only team that's willing to sign him right now. So it's like you kind of like he's in a weird spot. He kind of just has to take whatever they'll give him.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, I'm sure any team would be happy to have him, but maybe just not for the amount that he's asking for.
no, I mean he's asking for a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
Like he's not worth that amount of money.
Yeah. Still love the guy though. Really hoping he does come back to the Pistons.
Yeah, I hope he like doesn't play like a pansy in the playoffs again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think if the Pistons do let him go, they're gonna look rough next year because we've already let go of a handful of guys. Tobias Harris, Duncan Robinson.
where did
Just
Duncan
name
go?
a couple. I heard he went somewhere. I can't remember where.
Nope, he's still with Detroit.
Oh, perfect.
He's been talked about as a trade piece, I think. But
Then we might not be as bad off as I thought we would be.
yeah. And you still got B-Ball Paul. The only thing is I think they fully intend on keeping Duren because they traded Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah. That was
They sent him
big
to
guy that we
they sent him to like basketball hell with Memphis. Like
that team is going to be absolutely nothing this coming season. Oh man. Yeah,
bro, now when John
really
Morant says you want to see my gun, he's just got to point to beef stew and not actually pull an actual gun out. Like, good lord.
Stu doesn't even need to worry about that. Jaw is Portland's problem now.
Oh wait, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. Talk about a franchise that's been a crapshoot the last 2 years. Chauncey Billups getting arrested for like illegal gambling,
Yeah.
and then like they bring Dame back to finish there, but like, you know, dude, that is my best player in my era of watching the NBA to never win a championship is Dame.
Yeah.
That guy was so good. He single-handedly carried them to the finals like so many years. Because didn't they make it to a Western Conference final one year? Yeah. Yeah. And they lost to Golden State. Like,
it was just unfair.
yeah, that was the KD Warriors too, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody was beating them.
Well, hey, along the lines of this trade talk, we got the MLB trade deadline coming up, and that is a very scary subject for us as Tigers fans right now. Not for Tony.
Yeah, it's very scary for you Tigers fans. Very exciting for me as a Dodgers fan.
Because at this point, it seems all but inevitable that Skubal does get dealt somewhere else. Because the Tigers aren't where they need to be right now. There's a few teams that it sounds like he could end up with. Tony's Dodgers being one of them, of course. Along with the Brewers.
The most likely.
Yeah. I've heard the Rays brought up in trade conversations for Skubal.
So right now, the three that are leading the talks for Skubal are the Dodgers, the Brewers, and the Rays.
Yes.
And here's why I think it's going to be LA. Because the teams that they're competing with are the Brewers and the Rays, who famously do not trade for talent at the deadline. They sell at the deadline a lot of the time. And the Brewers and the Rays have done this before where they've been like, we want him. I think what they're doing is they're trying to drive the price up for LA. They're trying to force LA to give up more for him, which is understandable. But when you think about it, dude, the Dodgers are the best trading partner for Skubal, though, for the Tigers and Skubal. They don't want to give him to the Rays because that's in the American League. The Rays are going to be at the bottom of that list, right? So, they don't want to give him to Tampa. That's the least likely team they want to give him to, because then they might face him in the playoffs if they ever make the playoffs. They could face him in the playoffs this year if they end up making it after a trade. The Brewers have farm players they can give up. The Brewers don't have the best farm players to match what Detroit needs, whereas the Dodgers, like, what do we say the Tigers need right now? The two things they need relievers and they need outfielders that can hit. And what do the Dodgers have a plethora of right now in their farm system? Outfielders. Mike Sirota, Zaire Hope, Josue DePaula. Like, the Dodgers have an absurdly loaded group of outfielders right now to trade. They would probably be willing to give up 2 or 3 of them. And I'll bet you the Dodgers would throw in like Emmett Sheehan, who's rocking like a 3.6 ERA right now, which is like, not the greatest, but that'd be a good middle reliever. He's starting for LA right now because of injuries, but like that'd be a good middle reliever. When he had to do that in the playoffs last year, he was great. So, dude, I don't know. Like, I'm excited.
I am so sick and tired of hearing about how good the Dodgers are, dude. Like, how is it even fun anymore? Like, it can't be fun.
Because anything can happen in baseball. 2 years ago, the Dodgers almost got... 2 years ago, the Dodgers were down 2-1 in the National League divisional series against the Padres, and they came back and won it. And then last year, they should have lost the World Series. They should have. That World Series was a lot less. The Dodgers won it, and especially Game 6, was way more the Blue Jays blew that World Series with base running mistakes. Like, sorry,
you're good. To me, it's kind of like every other team is about 8 years old, and you're out there on Thanksgiving, and the Dodgers are an 18-year-old senior playing football, and you're expected to tackle this 18-year-old senior as an 8-year-old. Yeah, sometimes you might get them, but it's like reversing to the mean. And in baseball, it's like you might win a game, but the series is like you're not going to win the series. You know what I mean? Like that's just where I stand with it, man. And it's like I'm just so sick of the Dodgers being this 18-year-old who's just quite frankly bullying teams, man. Like from day one that we've been doing these power rankings, the Dodgers have been #1 on every single week. Like go back and watch it, you know? Like it feels like WWE, like it's almost scripted.
I just don't think, like, I don't know if, and I don't mean this offensively, so please don't take it this way, but I don't know if you understand, like, how hard it is to win a World Series. Like, there's a reason the MLB playoffs are so fun, because anything can happen. I mean, the Yankees, so the same thing that the Dodgers are doing right now, the Yankees did in the 90s. And the Yankees, like, lost a World Series to the Diamondbacks. Like, out of nowhere. The Diamondbacks, like, had only been an expansion franchise a couple years before. That's another topic I'd love to cover tonight is MLB expansion, because that's coming. But, like, dude, they should have lost in the World Series last year. They should have lost in the divisional series last year to the Phillies. They almost should have lost to the Padres the year before in the divisional series.
How many teams? Oh, go ahead, Tony. Sorry, I don't want to carry on.
The big thing is when the Dodgers win these games, I've said this before, it's not that they spend all this money on the best players. It's they spend it on the right players. Like, Logan and I have had a ton of conversations about this on Mondays at Jake's. Like, they spend money on Freddie Freeman, on Mookie Betts, on Shohei Ohtani. Guys that are smiling while they're playing, are pretty consistent. And when they're inconsistent, usually it's playing above their usual, standard. And then just are great teammates. Look at the Padres. They're the anti-Dodgers. They do this. They spend a ton of money. They spent a ton of money, but like they had teammates who couldn't get along. People were toxic to each other. That team hated each other, and look what happened. So I understand the hating why the Dodgers are so good and why it looks so uncompetitive. But I think when you understand what it takes to build one of those teams and how smartly they've spent their money and how well they've built up their farm system, it's like as a baseball fan, like Dodgers fan or not, it's like I'm in awe of what they were able to do. So
How many teams are in the MLB?
30.
30.
So
Yep.
right now, if you were to bet on who would win the World Series, the Dodgers have a 37% chance to win the World Series.
According to
The
my
playoffs have not started. Nothing has started. 37%. That means the other 29 teams between them have 63% combined.
But you know, every other team that has high odds compared to the rest of the league, it's like all National League. This is the issue for the Dodgers is they have to like any National League team who goes to the World Series has to go through like a meat grinder to get there. It's going to be honestly, it's going to be some of the most fun baseball I think we've seen in years when the National League playoffs come around because of how competitive these teams are, especially if the Cubs and the Dodgers play. Can you imagine if the MVP isn't announced yet and you have PCA and Shohei, who are the two guys that the MVP is basically coming down to, have to play each other? That'd be incredible.
That's true. Yeah,
Like,
that is true.
So the fact that we could possibly see a pitching duel between Mizurowski and Yoshi.
that would be amazing.
Yeah. I would love to see that personally.
Yeah. Now the issue for the Brewers and any team playing LA is like you have your elite pitcher or two on those teams. I will say the thing that makes LA like the heavy favorite is that every starting pitcher is considered elite in the league for LA come playoffs. Like they'll have their full pitching rotation back, and it's literally 3 top 10 guys are in that pitching rotation. Possibly 4 if Skubal gets traded.
Now here's my thing
Like-
about that. Wouldn't that possibly make them less of a favorite to get Skubal? Just based on the fact that they probably don't need a Skubal.
No, because the Dodgers have shown they will do anything to raise their floor.
Don't want anybody else to have them.
Well, especially they don't want Milwaukee to have him. They do not want Milwaukee to get him because that is their biggest competition to go to the World Series in the National League. So they are going to outspend Milwaukee. I'm going to guess they're going to trade players and cash for Skubal if he gets traded. But I don't think the Tigers should trade him. Like the Tigers aren't out of it like fans are acting.
I don't think they're gonna trade him. I really don't. I think if they were gonna trade him, it would have been dealt by now. And
I don't
the
think
thing
they'll trade him.
is, yeah, me and Morgan are on the same wavelength. The more you look at it, like what return are we even gonna get? Like, sure, okay, he's a great player, right? Phenomenal. Any team will want to have him, especially for the playoffs. But at the end of the year, you have to pay him. So, like, that's going to turn a lot of teams away. And it's like, I'm not going to give you a superstar because at the end of the day, he's kind of like a rental for the rest of the year. And then I got to pay him if I want to keep him.
Yeah.
And it's like the Tigers are looking at it like, hey, we go out there and win 4 games in a row, and all of a sudden we're 2 games out and we're good. Like, let's see what we can do. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And part of that is I think the Tigers organization is kind of in denial in the sense that they think they're going to make the playoffs this year. Personally, I don't, which means I think we should trade them. But again,
You don't think they can make the playoffs?
I don't think they're going to. No, I think if they were going to make the playoffs, they needed to win a couple of these last games, especially the series against the Royals. And they didn't.
So they're 4.5. Well, especially winning the series against the Orioles wasn't bad. It was worse losing 2 games to the Orioles. That's one of the things that really hurt them because that's one of the teams they're in contention for the wild card spot for. But they're 4.5 games back of a wild card spot. Now, here's the thing that's going to play to their advantage. They still have to play Seattle for a series, and they're only 2.5 games behind Seattle. They're only 2.5 games behind Baltimore after that series. No, they're 2 games behind Seattle and Baltimore. They're 3.5 games behind Houston. Houston, I think, is gonna collapse. They're 3.5 games behind the Twins. That's in their division, so that's super, super within their power to catch up to the Twins. And the other one for the spot is the Guardians, who is also in their division. Like, they just got to beat the they pretty much have to do good in the series against the Mariners and beat the Twins and Guardians whenever they have the chance to. And then go
I'm not betting on that, man. That sounds like kind of a lot that needs to happen, especially the way we've been playing baseball the last 2 weeks.
Here's what concerns me as a Tigers fan, and I'm not saying that I think the Tigers are completely out of playoff conversations. It just seems very doubtful to me, and here's why. We have probably one of the healthiest rosters in the entire league right now. And yet we go out yesterday against the Orioles, a very middling team, after we've been, quite frankly, on somewhat of a hot streak, and blow a 7-0 lead. That does not sit well with me whatsoever.
Well, here's the thing. They got to play the A's, who are trash. Basically, they got to win 2 out of every 3 games moving forward. I would think that they got to win 2 out of every 3 games moving forward.
Where have I heard this before?
So this is what the Tigers are going to do. All right, and this is classic. They're not going to trade him. They'll get nothing for him for 2 reasons. One, the biggest thing they need is a bullpen, because the bullpen's horrible. They could put a high school pitcher out there, and it'd be about as good as the bullpen, unless they kept Cater Montero, and he pitched like every day in the bullpen for him. It's bad. Yeah, you can trade with the Dodgers now, but I don't think we really need outfielders as much as you think, because the Tigers have a decent farm system as well. What they need is MLB ready, like playoff ready relievers that are going to be good, and no one's going to trade with them anyways. We'll go to the Dodgers and be like, yeah, we need some pitchers from you if you want Skubal. They're not going to do that, because why would they give up? Why would they give up their good relievers for Skubal? That doesn't make any sense. So they're just going to fester along like they've been. Probably not make the playoffs. They'll walk.
Apparently,
unless
the
they fork over the cash.
Apparently, the proposed trade package with LA is for 2 pitchers. It's for Christian Zazueta, Patrick Copen, and then they'd be getting Chuck Davalin, who's an outfielder. He's a prospect, but he's very, very good, very fast. He's actually playing for the Loons right now. I've seen him. He's really, really good. And then James Tibbs III, who is also very good. Patrick Copen he's in Double-A, so he wouldn't come up. And then Christian Zazueta is in Double-A, so he wouldn't come up. Now let's look at what apparently the Brewers would trade. Luis Pena at shortstop, Andrew Fisher at third. The Tigers don't need either of those. They don't need a shortstop, and they don't need a third baseman. They'd get an outfielder, and then they'd get another shortstop. Like, that's just a horrible trade. Like, that's a stupid trade if the Tigers take that. Because you have McGonigal and Dingler. Like, if anything, in the offseason, pick up another catcher and let Dingler play third and McGonigal play shortstop every day. You know, if they...
I think there's...
Sorry, go ahead.
There's a much better trade. No, you're good. I think there's a much better trade that the Brewers could propose for Skubal, and that would include a guy like Jackson Chourio. Because, we are, assume, like you're saying, Tony, that we are like a win-now team and very realistically could make the playoffs. Why should we just settle for prospects?
That's why I'm saying don't trade Skubal. Even if you lose him at the end of this year, go on this run. I'm so tired. So you guys have heard me talk about him repeatedly. Ben Bosher, this idiot who does 100.9 The Mitt. He does the Ben Bosher show. The guy's a moron. He said, if the Tigers don't trade Skubal, it is unforgivable. What are you talking about, Stephen A. Smith wannabe?
Tony, you realize Bosher says this to get people like you fired up so you can call in and get the ratings
I
up on
know.
the show.
I know. I don't call in, but it works. It's pissing me off. But it's just stupid. Keep Skubal. Go on a run. You can do it. And come
Well,
playoffs, it'll be
when do the playoffs start?
playoffs start in October.
Okay, perfect. So the run will be over in October, and we'll look up and be like, "Hey, we got nothing for Skubal. He's gonna walk in the off season, and it is what it is."
But at
It
least
just
you
didn't
didn't give
work.
up. Like, at least you
Yeah,
didn't give up. Which you
yeah,
have a
but
chance.
did you
They have a
see?
realistic chance.
So,
No, dude.
what is trading him giving up, though? That's the other question. Would trading
Yes,
him be giving up?
in my opinion,
Unless
yes.
unless you get a bullpen arm or two that is league ready right now, it's giving up.
And you're not going to because you got to understand any of these teams that are trading for Skubal are trying to beat the Dodgers. They're not going to want to give up anybody really good on their team. They're going to want to give up prospects and cash. And it's like the Tigers would rather keep them because they don't want prospects or cash. They're looking at it like, hey, we're 4 games out. Let's try.
Well, that's why if he gets traded, LA's the most likely choice though, because at least they're willing to give the prospects that fit these roles come next season or the season after. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but let's look at the Tigers' next couple series. So they have the A's, should win 2 out of 3 there. Let's say, right? Then they have Seattle.
I don't even know anymore, dude. But
Seattle
can't do anything.
Seattle's not that great. Seattle is so streaky. But they should beat Seattle. Then they have to play San Francisco, and San Francisco is one of the worst teams in the league. But then they have Cleveland and the White Sox. That's going to be like a huge
That's going to be the
series
season
in a row.
right there. That's going to be the season.
Yeah, no, their season will be determined within
gonna
these
come
next
down
like
to
4 to
those
5
games.
series.
Yeah.
If they can win 2/3 of those games, they'll have a real shot. They might be in position. They might be in the wild card position already by then.
This is like every Detroit team ever. All right, well we're right there, so we gotta just win 70%, and then they win 69% and miss the play. This is like the story of Detroit, dude. Like
But then they
though the Pistons, you're either shit or great. No in between.
the worst team ever, or the favorites to win it all. All right, that's
Hey,
it.
Pretty much.
but conveniently, they play the Pirates twice, who are going to dog shit before the end of the season. They play the Blue Jays, who are garbage. They still have to play the Rockies. Like, they might have one of the easiest schedules left, which is why I'm saying, like, don't count them out of it. Like, they got to play LA, sure. But, like, also, LA...
That team can get
but also, like, looking at it this way, as an LA fan, I know what LA is going to do come the end of August. They're going to start pulling back. They're going to start taking their foot off the gas. They're going to start resting guys. They'll, like, LA is going to have a bad end of August and September, but they'll do enough to stay ahead. They don't need the 1 seed. They don't care if they get the 1 seed. They care if their guys are healthy. So, like, Detroit could just sweep LA at Comerica. I wouldn't be surprised come that time because, like, LA's not really trying to win. Like, they'll put Lauer out there, and if he's given up 4 runs in the first inning, they'll be like, hey, do that another 5 innings. We don't care.
I think Detroit can play their starters and LA can act like it's a 4th grade kickball game and it would be a competitive day, dude. Like,
No.
I really don't think the Tigers are that good, man. I'm going to be honest. And Outman, you lied to me, man, on the last podcast. That guy is no good. He struck out 4 times when I went to the ballpark this week. And every time he was up, I was like, Tony tells me this guy's good. He's been hitting 300 ever since he's got here. And as I say that, he strikes out. Like,
I think he's good. I think he's good. He is an exceptional outfield. He is an exceptional. Well, he was when he came. Like, those first couple games, he was going nuts.
You would have been falling out of your seat in the last podcast.
He's below the Mendoza line. Listen, he's an exceptional outfield talent. He's not a starting center. Like, he's not a starting outfielder. He's a guy you put in there as like a backup. But also like he's never like had a great hitting coach. Like after he left LA, like he was hitting way better in LA, left, and it's gone to crap. So I think he just give him an offseason, he might be able to figure it out. But I don't know if he has that long.
Dude, let me go in there. I've never had a good hitting coach either. Good Lord, I can do about what he's doing.
No, you couldn't.
Striking
I'll say
out,
this
dude. I
again.
can do that. What are you talking about?
He at least can get a hit every now and then.
Oh, well, that's true.
So Tony, here's
Yeah.
my thing. So, given a scenario where the Tigers keep Skubal at the deadline, let's
Mhm.
address the elephant in the room. The Tigers need help in the bullpen.
Yes.
And I'd even go so far as to say that the Tigers should try to get help at the deadline for the outfield. Because let's face it, the tandem of Vierling, McKinstry, and Outman is not it. Now, I'm glad that Javi's back. That certainly helps.
You have Javi, and they just called up Max Clark too. So, and the
Correct.
reason they waited forever to pull up Max Clark is so they can keep a year of control still. So, we'll see. Max Clark's been tearing it up in the minors.
Well, my
So we
question
will
then
see.
is, if the Tigers don't trade Skubal, what should they be trying to trade in hopes of getting some bullpen talent?
Honestly, you're gonna hate what I say. The Tigers won't do it because they want a salary cap, so they don't want to do it because it would look bad. Because they're one of the Chris Ilitch is one of the teams that wants it. That is the third richest owner in the MLB. He has the cash to give a team for a player, for a bullpen arm. He could give minor leaguers and then cash for a reliever, but he won't. He won't. He won't let Scott Harris do that because he's greedy. He's not his dad. His dad wanted to win all the time. Like, as far as players, I mean, they would have to be trading. Let me see. Because they'd have to be trading with a garbage team, right? Who is just trying to offload. Because nobody that's in the playoff hunt is going to trade their relievers now.
Right.
I mean, Mason Miller is up, but possibly, but what can you give San Diego for Mason Miller?
Well, the Padres have arguably been looking better than the Tigers.
I
don't know. I mean,
I don't think the Tigers are a very good team. A playoff team does not go out there with a 7-run lead and lose. A playoff team closes it out and wins the game. Even if we make the playoffs, I think it's just going to be disappointing, dude. And it's just going to drag on the inevitable because if we make the playoffs, everybody in Detroit's going to be like, see, we weren't that bad. We were one player away. And I just don't think that's true. I'm not
I mean,
buying
they did get a reliever with the Jake Rogers trade. They got Zane Barnhart. So let's see how he's been doing.
Well, I have my doubts about him because that was a 1-for-1 trade, and we know how Jake Rogers has been looking this season. That's why he was DFA'd in the first place. So if you're trading a 1-for-1 trade with a guy who's, I believe Jake Rogers' average was 169 this season before being DFA'd.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
he's a double A player right now, but in double A as a reliever, he's got a 4.05 ERA, which actually a 4.05 ERA for a reliever is not bad. That's actually not too bad.
in double A, Tony.
There's guys that at times when they've played in lower leagues like AAA and AA, they've actually had worse stats than when they went to the pros. It just kind of depends.
To me,
I mean,
go ahead, Tony.
Gleyber Torres is one that they could trade. But the problem is then who plays second? McKinstry?
How Yuli plays second.
How Yuli.
He's been
Oh,
amazing.
yeah, how you lead. Yeah. I mean,
He's on like a 12-game hit streak, ain't he?
honestly, I'd hate to see him go, but you could trade Gleyber Torres and Jack Flaherty, and you could probably get like a reliever from like you could possibly
Like a team like
and
the
you can even
Marlins.
trade. Yeah, well, and you can even trade your own relievers. Like they can trade Kenley Jansen. They can trade him.
True.
Like teams would be like because at least to some of these stupid teams like the Marlins, like Kenley Jansen, like it's Kenley Jansen. Like it doesn't matter how bad he's playing, he's still going to put asses in seats because he's an icon. He's a guaranteed Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Pete Fairbanks would be a good one. Luke Weaver from the
Well,
Mets because
Flaherty's
the Mets are
hurt, so no one's
saying,
gonna want him.
huh?
Flaherty's hurt right now. No one's gonna want him.
Unless the team is bad enough.
That's true.
Because if it's a bad enough team, I mean, it's not like they're going to be looking to win right now.
I mean, Luke Weaver or AJ Minter from the Mets are like good. Luke Weaver is the one I would want because Luke Weaver just went out and embarrassed LA in his relief outings the other day in the one game the Mets beat the Dodgers. But they're going to have to give up cash, so I don't know if they'll do it. I mean, I would give up Kenley and Gleyber and Flaherty for a reliever.
Cannot give up Lee, dude. I like that guy, and he's super young.
No,
he's
no,
on
no,
a
no.
12 game.
No, not Lee. Kenley.
No, I didn't say Lee.
Kenley
Jansen,
okay,
their closer.
Kenley Jansen. Yeah, Kenley Jansen, Jack Flaherty, and Gleyber Torres. That's fine. And I think that's a fair deal, especially for a team selling a good reliever. That's totally possible.
That's actually
You know, the
really
thing
good
is-
package for a reliever. Like,
Listen, it gives-
imagine the reliever that you can get out of that.
I'm not
Yeah.
convinced, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Because
My thing is they should be trying to buy rather than sell. Or if it's like a sell, it needs to be like for the right pieces to keep it going.
my thing is, what is the reliever gonna do to you? Like, in my
Not
eyes,
blow a
if we-
7-run lead.
correct, but is it enough to make the playoffs? In my opinion, no.
Yes,
You're
because
too-
the Tigers keep blowing these leads. That's what
I
keeps
don't-
killing them is they keep
Blown
blowing
leads in the
leads.
MLB. It's not even close. I think the next closest team is like 10
You
games.
think one reliever is gonna turn it around, though?
Yes, because one
See,
reliever
what
is
helps
going
them-
to cut that in half. It's going to cut that number in half.
Yeah, one really good reliever can really turn things around.
What was
that
helping the
reliever can-
Tigers when we started to not lose? We had Montero in the bullpen because we had our 5 lineup of Skubal, Mize, Melton, Valdez, and Flaherty were there. We put Montero in the bullpen. That we started winning. Flaherty's hurt now. Valdez, he hasn't. I don't think he's mentally recovered since the funeral he went to. He's just been horrible. It's like that's what's killing him. I don't know. They need more relievers, or they need these guys to get it back together.
Because Connor, if you have a reliever who can also AJ Hinch needs to let his pitchers pitch longer. That's what's killing them too, as he's playing the odds and everything too much, and it's like that's killing them. Because like, how many games could their starting pitcher have gone later into the game and they wouldn't have blown the lead? Because you know, like it's something crazy. Like I saw, like when the Tigers bring relief pitchers in the 8th, when they have like the 8th and 9th inning left for relief pitchers, they blow the lead a ton. But if they just bring the reliever in the 9th inning, like they're great. Let your pitchers pitch. Like you don't have the opportunity to be like LA right now where you can save arms. You know, you don't have a lead in your division where you can afford to lose some games. You have to win now. Right. But yeah, dude, if they got something like Luke Weaver, that guy could pitch 2-3 days in a row before he'd need a break. If it was like an inning, just come in, close the 9th, call it a day. You know, relief pitchers have a very different rest schedule, Connor. Like, the Tigers would blow a quarter of the leads or half the leads that they currently are blowing. So, and honestly, that'd probably be a good boost to the rest of your bullpen. You know, having someone to be like, okay, I need to pitch as good as that guy today. You know, there's not that guy that everyone wants to be as good as.
Probably not very fun when you're the starting pitcher and you're like, okay, well, in order for me to get a win here, I got to go ahead and pitch 8 innings perfectly, and I can't make a mistake. You know,
Yeah. But I have this theory. I think if Skubal doesn't get traded and they keep him and they say, screw it, let's go on a run, I think he re-signs with Detroit. I really do.
He'd
I
have
think
to get
there's
rid of his
something.
agent. He'd have to get rid of his agent. There's no way.
Scott Boras? No,
There's
Chris
no-
Ilitch needs to pay. Chris Ilitch needs to pay.
He's not going to. He's not
can-
going
okay.
to.
That's Tigers fans needs to stop blaming Scott Boras. Blame Chris Ilitch for not paying him.
He's not going to pay him. I don't know. Whatever.
I mean,
you guys want to jump? Oh, go ahead, Logan.
just real quick to go back to the conversation about getting really good reliever in our bullpen. I think honestly we have a good enough situation in our bullpen to the point where adding that one more guy would be perfect, because I was just going through like all the list of names in my head thinking about who we really got. And Brant Herter the other day threw a bullpen session. He's been injured for a while now. He's a pretty solid arm coming out of the bullpen. So once we have him back, that'll certainly help. I mean, we have two relievers, I'd say, who are just truly atrocious in Brennan Hanafy and Drew Summers. Let's say you get Brant Herter back, and then you bring in another reliever. You can send both those guys down. And then, I mean, our worst relievers at that point would be like Drew Anderson, who quite honestly is not as bad as many Tigers fans say he is. He's very hit or miss. I will admit that. He's very streaky. But I've seen what he can do, and it gives me more hope than the average Tigers fan, I'd say. Jacob Waguespack is another guy who's in that same sort of boat where he's very hit or miss. I like what I've seen from him in certain games. But I mean, if those two guys are going to be the worst bullpen pitchers that we have, like after a trade like that we've just been talking about, that is a very good situation.
Yep. Oh, I just hope they do something. If they just sit on their hands, I'm going to be ticked. But
they're not going to do anything, Morgan.
At least if nothing happens, like you at least want to hear that they were trying to make deals, like they were talking to teams. You know what I mean? They weren't just
sitting around.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to jump into power rankings?
Yeah, while we're on the topic of MLB, might as well.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and start with mine real quick. Honorable mentions to the Rangers, Phillies, Cardinals, and Astros. The Rangers suddenly are looking like a playoff team. The Phillies have been slipping quite a bit.
The Phillies are awful. They have the lowest baseball IQ I've ever seen a team have.
Yeah, just got swept by the Marlins. After
they're having a bad week. They're having a bad week. Relax. They're still above 500. Relax.
Listen,
I have seen little leaguers play smarter than they do.
Okay, they gotta get it together. Come on, dude.
Being swept by a team who is coming off of a 12-game losing streak is worse than having just a bad week. Saying that that's a bad week is a drastic understatement.
That's an insult to teams actually having bad weeks.
Okay, relax, dude. Just relax on the Phillies, right? They're pretty much.
This conversation is making me regret having the Phillies even in honorable mention territory. But
yeah, you're right. They're
yeah, that's even crazier.
Whatever.
The Cardinals. I mean, they're very on and off, I'd say. Never know what to expect from them, really. And then the Astros as well, who've recently been looking quite good, I'd say. But then at number 10, I do have the Padres. Number 9, I got the Diamondbacks. Number 8, I got the White Sox. 7, I have the Braves. They have not impressed me as much as they did earlier in the season, recently speaking. 6, I got the Cubs. 5, I have the Rays. 4, I have the Red Sox, who, if you've been paying attention at all to
Yeah, it's
baseball,
crazy. Yeah.
you would know about the recent win streak that they had and how impressive that was. Number 3, I got the Yankees. Number 2, I got the Brewers. And number 1, of course, I have the Dodgers.
Gee Willikers. Who could have guessed?
Oh, God.
Who's on your list, Connor?
Top 5. You know what? Just to spite you, I'm gonna put the Phillies in the honorable mention spot, just because I've been rocking with them all year. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think I've watched a single Phillies game, but at this point, I gotta cheer for them because I picked them way back. Number 5, I got the Cubs. They're just a really good team. Number 4, I got Atlanta. I got the Rays in front of Atlanta at 3. The Brewers are at number 2, and the Dodgers are number 1, of course, you know.
Okay.
So not much has really changed on my list.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Morg?
Mine is almost the exact same as the last podcast I was on. Yankees at 5, Rays at 4, Braves at 3, Brewers at 2, and Dodgers are the best. They're my number 1. And maybe the Rays and Yankees have switched, but that's just been like that. I keep track of all this on my papers here, and it's always the same. It's been the same since like what the second month of the season. It seems like so.
Well, we're getting to that point of the year where we're really settling into them now.
Mhm.
So, okay. So for me, honorable mentions are Pittsburgh Pirates, Cleveland Guardians, and Detroit Tigers. As much as Connor hates it,
You were on
the Detroit
crack.
Tigers are actually an honorable mention.
They're not a good team.
They had a really
They
good week
are-
last week. That's true though.
They are actually a really good team, Connor. Okay. Number 10, Arizona Diamondbacks. This team would be winning a division if it just wasn't for the fact that they were in the same division as the best team in baseball. Number 9, I have the Nationals. Fun team to watch. The Nationals are so cool this year. Number 8, Chicago White Sox. Munetaka Murakami, he's still hitting bombs. Number 7, Boston. That win streak kind of has to get him in there. Number 6, Chicago Cubs. They are a wild card team right now, but only because they're in the same division as the Brewers, who have the second best record in baseball. And they have the only guy that can maybe catch Shohei for MVP right now, the PCA. Number 5, I have Tampa Bay. Number 4, I have the Yankees. Those two teams, yeah, you could switch those two around. They're actually, I think they're so close. I think the Yankees are winning that division if they have Aaron Judge, like if he's not hurt. But you know, the Yankees, I'm actually very impressed with how they've held up without Aaron Judge. So, number 3, Atlanta Braves. I still think they're really good. It's been rough lately, but they just won 6 out of their last 10. So, number 2, the Milwaukee Brewers. Mizorowski is amazing to watch. We're watching one of the most amazing things that's ever happened with pitching happen with that guy right now. I mean, I think he just had a game. Didn't he throw like every fastball he threw was over 100 miles an hour in the game? Like something crazy. And number 1, LA. It's again until someone really comes in and shows in a massive way that they're better than LA. I'm not going to count out LA. I will say fun thing about LA. They have a 61% win percentage at home and a 64% win percentage away. They're actually playing better away than they are at home this year, oddly enough.
That's what happens when you have veteran guys. It's the same thing in college basketball. You usually play better away than at home. It's just if you have an older team.
Yeah.
I feel like it also helps that they got fans everywhere.
But it's true.
Yeah. I guess bottom 5 teams: Rockies, Athletics, Angels, Mets, Royals. I think that's fair to say.
Mhm.
No, what I was going to say earlier, though, I have that World Series predictor, right, that I built. And it gives like the thresholds you need to meet for everything in order to be considered like a team that can realistically win the World Series. So for a run differential, you need to be plus 19. The Tigers are plus 56. They're the only team with a negative win rate who has a positive run differential. Like, that team is much better than what their win record says. You have to have an ERA lower than 4.76. They have a 3.66 ERA. You need to have an OP, and if they had relievers, that would be much lower. You need to have an on-base plus slugging of minimum 699. They have 717. And then you need to be on track for a minimum WAR of 35.1. They're on track for a 39.1 WAR. The only category where they don't meet it is win percent. But you only statistically have to be at.
You gotta win too. You gotta win games.
Win percent. That's what I was saying. You only need to have like a 52% win percent realistically in order to be like considered like past that threshold that teams have traditionally met. So they're not far off, man. Like, they're really, really close. So as much as Connor doesn't believe.
Listen, man. All my optimism is in other sports.
Where'd your video go, by the way? Like, where'd your video go?
My video's gone?
You're froze.
Oh boy.
It's still gone. Like, I'm arguing with a guy who looks like Gomer Pyle. Like, no, he's hung up. I offended him. He left.
Yeah. I don't know. Connor, you there? No, he's gone.
No, he got lost to the ether.
Damn it. Well, I was gonna say we could do our discussion on the goats of obscure sports, but like if Connor's not here,
I gotta pull up my list.
I kind of don't want to do it without him.
I know. I had a crazy list too. Logan knows one of my picks.
Yeah.
We might just have to do it. And
that whole time Connor was trying to talk about like the wins and everything, and kind of just like shouting at the camera. His face is just straight face.
Oh, where are you? I can hear him in the background.
Bang,
like,
back.
Okay. Moving on. Most goats of obscure sports. Let's go.
Right.
You know what? Actually, before we do this, I'm gonna grab a drink. Yeah. I'm gonna go grab a drink before we do this because I might need it.
Connor, you got yours ready to go?
No.
Damn.
I don't.
Morgan, do you got yours?
Oh yeah, I got it.
All right.
Okay.
Connor, not to rush you or anything, but do you think you would be able to put one together real quick?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, what? You didn't put it together?
No, I got it. It's just I got narrowed down to figure it out.
Okay, you can narrow it down while like Morgan starts. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Morg.
All right, and I already sent this in the group chat, so you already know what I'm gonna say. But the first one, and yes, it's a sport, is professional bass fishing. All right, this dude, he's from Kalamazoo, Michigan. All right, and he actually owns one of the biggest outdoor stores in the state. It's great, but it's Kevin Van Dam, and like out of any other professional bass fisherman, he just blows me out of the water. He has his own baits and everything named after him, but he has won 4 Bassmaster Classics. The next closest is like someone winning it twice. So he's like the cream of the crop. He's also won Angler of the Year 7 times, and he's only done it professionally for about 20. So he just kills everybody. And it's
My man is the Barry Bonds. Are you sure he doesn't put weights in his fish?
no, but you know what he did? That was before they that whole scandal started. But mostly the weights were for walleye fishing. But yeah, Kevin Van Dam. I've actually fished on a lake that he has property on. But yeah,
Nice.
that's one of them. My other guy, and you can look him up on YouTube. He's hilarious. But it's Lord Littlebrook. He's a midget wrestler. So like,
Oh my god.
oh yes, he's a legend. And I wrote the stats down on this guy. So there's midget wrestling like world titles, and he's won it 5 times back in the 60s and 70s. But oh my goodness, it's just they're so funny. It just reminds me of the midgets versus the camel relay race. It's the same thing, but they're wrestling each other. It's oh man, it's pure entertainment right there. You gotta just look up midget wrestling on YouTube. It's so much fun. And my last one, and Tony's just gonna love it. I put Shohei Ohtani as my other GOAT player of just sports no one cares about. You know, no one cares about baseball, and yeah, Shohei is one of the GOATs. So there, I said it.
Dying
You can be happy
sport,
about
dying
that.
sport.
I don't know whether to feel offended or vindicated.
That was the point. I wanted to make you conflicted.
I have very ambivalent internal feelings right now. I'll take it as a win.
I had fun putting that.
Connor, you're still muted, boss.
I'm on mute. I said that was hilarious. I got my 3 ready to go, ready to rock and roll here.
You have the floor, sir.
Sir Donald Bradman. Okay. Batting average of 99.94 in cricket. This guy gets a hit every time he comes up, dude. What are we doing? He literally the GOAT of cricket, okay? He's so
And
extreme
he's
that
knighted.
no other player in team sport history has even come close. And nobody cares about cricket, dude, okay? Come on.
Someone is hearing you guys through my headphones, by the way.
We got a stalker? Good Lord.
No, she's like on my lap trying to climb up to my headphones.
Okay, second guy. Everybody has heard of Magnus Carlsen. Okay, but Magnus Carlsen is a professional chess player. But if you're the GOAT of chess, like chess is a 2-player game. Yeah, there's got to be somebody you play, right? Not many people have heard of Hikaru Nakamura. It's literally, he's not that much worse than Magnus Carlsen, and nobody.
He's like the best American player ever.
Nobody knows
besides
about
like
it,
maybe Bobby Fischer.
Everyone talks about Magnus Carlsen. Nobody talks about Hikaru. Hikaru's beat Magnus Carlsen plenty of times, but you know, you have good and bad games. Chess is one of those sports that I think they talked about putting it in the Olympics years ago. It just never happened.
That would be ridiculous.
The last one, you guys are gonna love this. Okay, I got a Canadian on my list.
Oh no!
All right, his name is Corey Belmore. Okay, he ran the world's fastest beer mile, clocking in at 4 minutes and 27 seconds. This guy pounded 4 beers and ran them out in 4 minutes. Mind you,
KT
I
wasn't that
can't-
far off.
I can't run a regular mile in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This guy's pounding Miller Lights and running past me? That
Dude, he
is
should
an
have seen-
art, dude.
Dude, he should have seen KT. KT with a little bit of training. Maybe he'd finish the race. Like,
Oh my god.
for those of you that don't know, we're all in the fantasy league together, and like it's 12 guys, and the last place in the fantasy league has to run a beer mile. And our guy just ran what 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. Poor soul.
oh god, he picked the worst weekend to do it. It was like 100 degrees outside. All right, what about you, Logan?
Hold on. I do have an honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
My honorable mention is this race. It's called the Backyard Classic. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. And basically,
No.
you can get your whole family member to go. Anybody you want can go. And it's this loop that some guy made in his backyard. It's an endurance trail race. The only rule is anybody can enter, but the only rule is you have to be at the starting line every hour on the hour until you are the last runner standing. So hundreds of runners compete in this every single year. And it's in Kentucky. The course is 3.5 miles long. And you have to be at the starting line every hour on the hour. So some people like try and walk their way and then jog, and barely make it on time and just make it an endurance race. Some people sprint it and get it done in like 20 minutes, and then you have 40 minutes to rest, recover, eat some food, get some gel or whatever. Let me hold on. Let me look up. It's not showing me who the winner is, but I watched this whole documentary on YouTube about it. And this guy ran 42 loops, totaling 112.76 miles. Now, if you're doing the math at home, that means this guy was up for 42 hours straight, or he took micro naps in between, and someone woke him up like, hey, man, you got to get up. You got to get to that start line. That is insanity.
That means that loop is like 2.7 miles.
No, the loop is 3.15.
Okay.
The guy's name is Nick Peterson.
So it's a 5K every hour.
Every hour on the hour. But again, like, you can sprint it and be done in like 20 minutes. And then, you stretch, you take a nap for 15 minutes, you eat a hot dog, do whatever, you take a dump, do whatever you got to do. It's just you have to be back there every hour on the hour until you go. And a gun goes off every hour signaling, hey, the next hour starts. There's this big, like, scoreboard and stuff. People really get into it, dude, because like you can have your whole family there cheering you on, and it's like that'll give me some motivation to go.
That's true. That'd be cool.
It's pretty cool. I don't think I'd ever be crazy enough to do it.
Connor, we gotta do it on one season, man.
I would go to support, like if one of you guys got Tony, dude, feel free, man. If you want to start running, I'll be there to support you, dude.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Logan,
Cool.
what's yours?
So I will start with chess because I know Connor already did that, but I do have a different guy that I'd like to shout out as my personal chess goat. His name is Gary Kasparov, and he had this crazy dominant run where he was the world leader from, I believe, 1985 all the way through 2000. Just a crazy long run as the best in the world. Had the record for highest peak score until Magnus Carlsen came along and dethroned him. But the only reason I don't have Carlsen above him is because Carlsen's dominant run was not as long as Kasparov's dominant run.
Well, that's because Carlsen quit. He got bored by just beating everybody.
My next goat, for foosball, we got Tony Spreedman.
Okay.
And
Okay.
professional foosball has not been around for very long. I think the official overseeing league wasn't formed until just some time in the 2020s here. But during that time, last year during the World Championships, Tony Spreedman went out, finished second place. This year he is first in the world rankings, seeking to get a title finally. But fun fact about him, he is not only is he first place right now, he's the only American foosball player in the top 100. It is a sport that is dominated by Germans and Austrians, seemingly, for whatever reason.
Oh,
But shout out Germany and Austria.
I can't even believe that. I just picture someone like flicking their wrist and going, yeah, like absolutely nuts as the ball goes in. I gotta watch this.
But then my third goat is Ken Klimo, and he plays, well, at least used to play disc golf. He won a record 20 majors, a record 12 world championships during his time. And no one since then has come particularly close to matching those numbers. But yeah, that's my list.
All right.
Tony, off to you, man.
Okay. So first up, I have Jonas Neubauer,
I've heard of him.
seven-time classic Tetris world champion Jonas Neubauer. He's the GOAT. May he rest in peace.
Wait, you're saying?
Nope.
Hold on. You were saying that chess wasn't a sport, but Tetris is.
I was kidding around. That's why I did this kidding around. Okay. Number
you know
two.
how
Number two.
athletic you have to be a Tetris player, Morgan? Come on, dude. Not everybody got
Okay.
the thumb movements, dude.
Oh, God.
Okay. Number two on my list. As much as we will hate as Saginaw Valley grads that this guy is from Grand Valley State University, Kevin Bailey, 3-time National Collegiate Dodgeball Association MVP and 3-time national champ. So those of you that don't know, Connor and I played dodgeball in college together.
This guy put a dodgeball player on his list. That's hilarious.
More athletic than chess. Tetris. Okay, but yeah, Kevin Bailey. And last but not least, Secretariat.
Oh my gosh.
Of racing horses.
Oh.
Secretariat.
That's a good one. That's a good pull.
And that's one that needs no explanation.
That's cool.
No, it actually does, because I missed it because our dog was barking at our dog, so I had to close the blinds.
Oh.
What did you say?
Secretariat. The GOAT of racing horses.
The racehorse, dude. Okay, I respect that.
Have you ever seen that race?
No.
Have you ever seen Secretariat? Watch that race, dude. It's incredible. That horse won by was it Belmont Stakes or whatever, by 25 lengths.
Wow.
The one time I've been most into horse racing, and honestly, it wasn't even that into horse racing, but there
was when he gambled $10,000 on it.
I lost it all. No. But no, there was a pretty dominant horse. I want to say about a decade ago now, named Nyquist, and it was named after Red Wings legend Gus Nyquist. Odd Red Wings player to name a horse
After?
for, but
yeah.
But shout out Gus Nyquist, because I do love that guy. I love
Is it
watching him play.
pronounced Gus?
Gus Nyquist?
I thought it was Gustav.
Well, that's his full name.
It's yeah.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Don't pay attention.
All right. Anyone got anything they want to throw in before we get to the athlete of the week?
Sure. Football starts a week from today, preseason. I'll be canceling the podcast to watch the Hall of Fame game. Sorry, fellas. Or I'll have it on in the background. I don't know. I'm just itching.
Fair enough.
Let me see. So, fun fact I would like to add about Secretariat. Back in 1973, if you wanted to breed your horse with Secretariat, because that's one of the big things in horse breeding is, the genes, the lineage. It was $125,000 in 1973, which effectively translates to like $950,000 today.
Smokes.
Like, yeah.
What was that movie? That's the only thing I know about horse racing. There was a horse movie. It was like an animated Disney film. What was it called? Spirit? You guys ever seen Spirit? That's about the only thing I know about
No.
Never
horses.
seen it.
It's a pretty bad movie. I wouldn't recommend it. But that's oh man, that's crazy. Almost $1 million to get knocked up by Secretariat.
The way you said it was very weird, but yeah.
That is how it is.
It is.
All right, athletes of the week. Who wants to start us off?
I'm gonna start it off. I got one. I'm gonna say, Lions training camp started on Wednesday. My athlete of the week is Kirby Joseph. He's on the PUP list. He was shown running the hill, the infamous, oh God, who was that? Who was that joke of a coach? Who was our coach? Matt Patricia. I try and forget. The infamous Patricia Hill. He was sprinting up the hill. He was backpedaling up the hill. He was changing directions. He talked with the media. He was laughing. He was giving praise to God. All around, he looks great. He's on the PUP list because they don't want him to injure himself before week 1. All signs point to him starting week 1. They're going to ramp him up in 3 weeks. He's got to be my athlete of the week. Cartilage in his knee or not, tape it up. He seems like he's going to play, and I'm stoked about it.
I mean, his attitude fits that, the whole grit thing with that franchise.
Yeah.
Of like, listen, I might destroy my knee if I go play, but I don't want to abandon these guys.
I don't want to
attitude.
think about it, dude. I don't want to think about it. I can totally see, the media's going to be like, week 1, and he's out there.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden, it's like the first drive, and he just gets a non-contact injury that ends it all. But I don't even want to think about it. Yeah.
We're forgetting we got to do something after this, too, that we talked about. But, yeah, let's keep going with Athlete of the Week.
Who's next?
Okay. I'll go next. My athlete of the week is Griffin Conine from the Marlins. He was the one who hit a walk-off single in the game against the Phillies that snapped the Marlins' 12-game losing streak. Matter of fact, they came into that inning down 7-5 and ended up coming back. But I mean, Griffin Conine being the one to deliver the final punch. He had a pretty good series overall. He was one of only like 2 or 3 of the Marlins players that had a hit in each one of those games in that Phillies series. So yeah, quite honestly, I had never heard of him before I did all the research about that series. But shout out to Griffin Conine. He's on my radar now.
Shout out.
Good.
Tony, who do you got?
As much as I want to give it to LeBron for picking the Sixers and finally letting us all move on with our lives, I'm going to say it's C.J. Abrams from the Washington Nationals. Last week, he's batted like 600 with 6 home runs. Like, that's absurd, like, for a week. So that's a ton of fun. He's one of the guys on the Nationals. Makes it a ton of fun. Yeah. He broke the national single season record for home runs by a shortstop, too. I just saw. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Well, my player of the week, oh man, he's been talked about nonstop for the past month. He's had 18 strikeouts in the last 2 starts in 14 innings pitched, only 4 earned runs. He's been lights out. It's probably the last time I'll ever be able to say it. We'll see him because he'll get traded. Maybe. Tarek Skubal. You go out there and you strike out that many guys. You're my player of the week. Oh my goodness. It's so much fun watching him pitch. And maybe we'll have him for the rest of the year. Maybe we won't. But I had to put him in because scarcity. The idea of scarcity.
Might not get the chance to next week.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be playing for the LA Paychecks or the Brewers. Who knows? I'm not sure. But whatever.
Dude, their mascot should be like.
And you ain't getting a salary cap either, buddy.
You know that bill? What was that? Like Schoolhouse Rock? You know the bill on Capitol Hill? That should be like that should be the mascot for the Dodgers.
The executive order instead? Oh god.
You know what we were forgetting that we talked about before the podcast was our Super Bowl matchup predictions.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yep. So
who do you boys have?
Oh man,
I got
it's hard.
the Rams for sure in the NFC. Out of the AFC, it gets a bit tricky for me, but I'm going to go with the Bills.
Oh, those are literally the exact same ones.
Those are you know what's funny? Those are actually the 2 front runners right now to win the whole thing.
Are they really?
But if you guys really think that's cool, that's fine.
I want to pick somebody else then. I'll pick somebody else. Why not?
Okay. Well, I'll go through who I have picked. I have obviously the Rams. I think it's hard not to pick the Rams. Behind them, the homer in me says Detroit. That's just the homer in me, though. If I'm looking at it logically, LA's gonna be a monster. Especially if like Aaron Donald comes back. Like apparently he's rumored he might come back. The other one, he finally gets over the hump. He conquers the allegations of being a choker. I've got Justin Herbert and the Chargers in the Super Bowl against the Rams. And that's where he'll choke.
Wow.
Hey, I didn't name my fantasy team last year after him for nothing. He actually carried me in fantasy for a while last year.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe being engaged to Madison Beer will do something to him. Who knows?
Madison just tells him if you don't win the Super Bowl, I'm not going to marry you. And he's going to be like, yes, ma'am. I mean, hopefully he has an offensive line that stays healthy and he doesn't break his hand. Like last year, he was running for his life every play. Still winning games. So, yeah, I think last year it was less him choking and more just he had no offensive line coming into the playoffs and he had to play the Texans. Like,
I'm going to go with kind of a curveball here. I think I'm going to surprise you guys a lot.
Okay.
I think anything can happen in the playoffs. And it appears that every year, the people that are in the Super Bowl are never supposed to be there. Like, the Patriots came out of nowhere, and Seattle came out of nowhere last year. So,
have you lived through the Tom Brady era and the Patrick Mahomes era?
Yeah, no, I get it. But, like, last year, Seattle was the Power Rankings last year. I looked it up before the podcast. Seattle was ranked 19. Going into the season.
Yeah. Last year was crazy. Yeah. But I was very unenthused for the Super Bowl last year for some reason, though.
I'm gonna go on the AFC side. I'm gonna pick the Houston Texans, and the only reason I'm gonna say that is because I think their defense could carry him. I think they have an elite defense, the best defense in the league. I'm going to say it. If the offense can score 20 points a game, I think they could beat anybody in the league. I don't think the defense is giving up more than 20 points. They have way too many edge rushers. Their cornerbacks are locked down. I'm going to say the Houston Texans. Like they're going to get hot in the playoffs. The AFC is a powerhouse still, but you really only have to shut down Lamar Jackson and you have to shut down Josh Allen. And how do you do that? You have an elite defense. NFC
both Lamar
side,
Jackson and Josh Allen have new head coaches too, so that's going to help you out.
yeah, 100%. NFC side, I don't want to pick the Rams. I think Seattle's going to take a step back. Dude, screw it. I'm going to pick Detroit. I'm going to do it. And it could be because I'm a homer, or it could be because I think they go against the Rams in the NFC Championship game, and there's storylines about Jared Goff returning to LA because the Rams are going to be the 1 seed. Jared Goff's going to have to go to LA and like slay the dragon to make the Super Bowl. And the storyline is going to be, can Jared Goff go back into LA and make history for the Lions? And he's going to be so gassed at the opportunity that I think they could do it. If anybody's going to beat the Rams this year, it's going to be us.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be Lions. What did I say? Houston. Yeah, Houston's way down on this betting odds list, by the way. Like,
Here's my
pretty
thing.
bad.
If the Rams don't end up with the 1 seed, it's going to be because they're in the NFC West and that division is kind of stacked right now. So, like, what is it? The 49ers didn't even make the playoffs last year. And the 49ers were, like, a pretty good team, I thought. Like, that was a team that if you got them to the playoffs, like, everything that, like, all the drama and everything was going to go away and they were going to show up. You know, so I don't know. And I think the Cardinals are going to be better than what people are expecting, man. I think the Cardinals are going to be better than what people are thinking. Not great. I don't think they're going to be great.
Wait a minute.
I don't think
They're
they're
going
going
to
to be great.
They're going to win the Super Bowl?
Hold on. No. That's not what I'm saying. No. If they couldn't do it with Kurt Warner, they can't do it with Jacoby Brissett.
Well, Tony,
But
you
here's
better
the
bet
thing.
on this, dude. Come on.
No, I'm just saying I think the Cardinals are going to be a better team than what people are giving them credit for. I don't think there's a team in the NFC West that's under 500 for the season.
I'll tell you what, Tony. The Cardinals right now are plus 70,000 to win. So if you put $100 down and they win, you get 70 grand.
I never said they were going to win.
Okay, but
All I said was they're going to be better than what people are thinking.
Okay, so Tony, you bet $100, and then as soon as they make the playoffs, you cash out for like 10. You'll be good, dude. You're in the money.
No, shut up.
Tony,
Yeah.
what about this Cardinals team exactly makes you believe that they can be a 500 team or better?
Kyler's gone. There's no drama. Jacoby Brissett showed that like he's a mid to upper mid-tier quarterback when he was playing last year. Like Jacoby Brissett was actually pretty good when he was playing. So I think they're going to be like they're either going to be a game above or a game below 500, but they're going to be like in that kind of range. But I think people are expecting them to be well below 500.
Marvin
Right, like-
Harrison's going to have a bounce back year. Trey McBride's really good. I'll give you that, but everybody else is terrible.
But they also have a last place.
Is going to have a bounce back year. I've been seeing how he looks in practice. He's dropping very easy passes to catch. That is multiple times. Very concerning if I'm a Cardinals fan.
Well,
Like,
let's
you're
look at their
telling me that's
schedule.
my wide receiver one? Hell no.
Why are we making a whole segment about the Arizona Cardinals?
No.
Okay.
because You brought this to light.
Okay. Chargers loss. Seahawks loss. 49ers win. Giants win. Lions loss. Rams loss. I could be so wrong. Broncos loss. Oh yeah, no, never mind. Their schedule's hard as fuck. What? They were last in their division. Why do they have this hard of a schedule? Besides, like, their division, like,
They have to play the NFC North, right?
no, they don't have to play the NFC North. The only reason they're playing the Lions is because they were both last place in their divisions last year.
See.
Yeah, they have to play the AFC West.
Good luck.
That's brutal. That's so brutal.
I should make
so
a video of just Tony's bad takes.
Okay, before I saw the schedule, like, but if you'd have told me, like, they're playing the NFC South, like, what I said was, like, maybe
You
not
were-
that, like,
You were
outlandish.
convinced, dude. You're like, yeah, Jacoby Brissett, he's my guy. You know?
No, that's not what I said. I said he's a mid to upper mid-tier quarterback. That there is a difference.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, holy crap, though. That's bad.
Does anybody else want to say anything before we call it a day?
I have for the Super Bowl. You guys
yeah.
are gonna. My AFC is the Broncos. They'll have redemption, and my NFC team, they're a quarterback away from making some noise. They could have probably won the NFC North. I think the Vikings will be really good next year. I really do. I don't think Detroit's winning the division. I think the Vikings will. That coach is the best in the division too. I'm just saying, they're going to be good, and I think
The
they'll.
Vikings have a hard schedule, though.
They have a third place schedule.
Okay.
What's their schedule?
They play all the NFC teams twice.
Yep.
They play the Bills. They play the 49ers.
Well, they play all the NFC.
They play the Patriots.
Patriots aren't that good. I'm not convinced that they're that good.
They play the Broncos and the Ravens. No,
Yeah, they can
I'm a
win those
liar.
games.
That's preseason. Yeah, that
Here,
might
they
be
gotta
okay.
play- Listen, they got to play. Besides the NFC North, they have to play the Colts, who is
Winnable.
They're not
like.
beating Indiana Jones, dude. Come on.
I know. They have to play the 49ers.
Winnable.
They have to play the Patriots.
Winnable.
Like,
Now, I'm going to be honest, Morgan. The Vikings got, 9 wins last year?
Yep.
And
Without a quarterback.
they didn't have a quarterback. So I could see them winning 10, 11, 12 games. I don't think they're going to win come playoffs time.
there's no way. They still have no quarterback. Are you kidding me? Kyler Murray? That guy's a cancer to any team he's on.
Hey, you know what? You guys are forgetting. GTA 6 comes out in November. They're cooked, dude. He's just going to be playing that.
That is true. Oh no.
They're cooked. The season's over before it started. But
Yeah, like the Vikings, no. What is
one
the
thing I will
Bears'
say
schedule?
is I don't think anybody is more. Well, I don't know, dude. It's just so hard because like it's so hard for me to bet against the Lions. Their whole offseason has been serious Dan Campbell. He's got a different persona, and he's all business. And it's like once you get to the playoffs, like I don't think anybody wants to play Detroit. I'm gonna be honest. Whether it's a defense or not, like we're gonna score like 50 points a game. You know what I mean? Like that's just who we are. If you're gonna score 56, we're gonna score 63. Like I think every game's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be like the Rams Seahawks last year, where the game was like 49-53 or whatever, however that ended. I don't know. I think the NFC's loaded, dude, and there's gonna be a lot of teams that could be in the mix. The Vikings could be in the mix. So I see where you're coming from on that. And Kyler Murray's a good quarterback. Okay, I'll stand by that. He's better than who they had last year.
Dude, I heard you. Kyler Murray's garbage.
I think a change of scenery will be good for him though too. Honestly.
Yeah, I really do.
And that coach it's going to be a lot better for him. I really do think so.
Man, I
But
don't
we'll
know what's
see.
a worse take. The Vikings being the top team in the NFC North, or the Cardinals being a 500 team. I've heard it all
Dude,
tonight,
honestly,
Okay. At least in my
Vikings-
defense, I didn't see the schedule yet. At least in my defense, I corrected it when I saw the
he's
schedule.
talking about when he rebuilds the Cardinals on Madden 27. Okay, he's not talking about real life. The Cardinals are not going to be a 500 team, dude.
I mean,
You,
I don't
guys,
even.
write this down right now, though. I guarantee
Write
you
it down.
it'll be better than the Bears. It'll be better than the Packers next year. Definitely.
You know, okay, you know what, Morgan? You know what? I'm gonna disagree with you. I don't think the Vikings are gonna beat the Bears. I think the Vikings are gonna have to play the Bears in the divisional round or somewhere in between.
Yeah.
And I think the Bears are gonna beat the Vikings. I just
The Bears
think
are just
some
bad,
team's gonna
though.
lose.
No, I don't think so. Oh, man.
Caleb Williams, dude, the cover athlete. Ah, man. The Madden curse.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know who he has to play? He's got to play Philadelphia in Chicago. He has to play
Go.
the Patriots in Chicago. He has to play Seattle in Seattle. He has to play the Bill. Dude, that's a rough end of the season though, because it literally goes Bills, Packers, Lions, Bears. Like,
Yep.
that's a
I am
brutal Final Four games.
No, that's for the
excited.
Bears.
Wait, so
Or sorry, Vikings.
Bills,
Vikings.
Lions-
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay, yeah.
Bills, Packers, Lions, Vikings. Sorry.
That is rough.
I'm so excited for football. You guys have no idea. I'm like not counting
What do the
down the
Lions end their
days,
season
but
on?
like I know in Green Bay. It's in Green Bay on January 8th or whatever. That's their last game.
Well, the Lions' Final Four is Vikings, Giants, Bears, Packers.
Yeah, and the Giants are going to be playing winnable football games. In my mind, I think there's a chance the Lions have the division locked down 15 weeks in.
Maybe.
I really do, man. I really do because I think this goes back to the whole coaching scheme. We're gonna have to see. Okay, I think Kelvin Shepard going into year 2, the defense. You gotta have faith in the defense. The defense has been bad for so long. I think Shepard is going to have a better year. He has pretty much nobody, if I'm going to be honest. But I got faith in who is here, and I don't know, dude. I'm just a massive homer. They'll go out there and lose week 1, and I'll just be pissed.
Who do they play week 1?
The Saints. I'll be like,
the
I
Saints.
knew we
You know what
shouldn't
we
have.
should do?
I knew we shouldn't have drafted Blake Miller. I'm going to be blaming the draft picks.
Oh my gosh.
You know what we should do when the draft comes around for the fantasy league? We should live stream our draft.
I'm down with it.
Sure.
Wait till I take Tom
Put a
Brady
little graphic.
on air, dude.
We can
like,
we can
come
get
on.
Logan to like show like what the pick is every time, like how much time and everything. We can all live react. That'd be fun.
The third pick in the draft, Shane selects Patrick Mahomes.
I have the third pick. Shane has the second pick.
All right, guys. Well, I do got to get going. So we.
I know who Shane's pick. I know who Shane's taking with his first pick, but
he'd be an idiot not to take Bijan Robinson because the number 1 overall pick's got to be Jahmyr Gibbs. It has to be.
All right. I think we're good to wrap it up here. So, again, everyone, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and possibly consider subscribing. Have you considered subscribing yet? You should.
Are the notifications on?
Turn that bell on. Turn that ringer on. Also, feel free to drop a comment down below. If
fucking
you have any
sellout.
strong feelings about anything we've done. Yeah. But yeah, we will see you all next time.
Take it easy.